My name is Darian, and I'm 12. I don't really watch the news or have a political point of view, but the profanity that is pervading our culture has reached my ears anyway, and I had no choice but to listen. Words are powerful, and profanity can be used powerfully. For instance, Emma Gonzalez, a 17-year-old survivor of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Parkland High School shooting on February 14, 2018, proves this fact. Since the shooting, she has become an activist for gun control. In response to the shooting, she and other students, including Cameron Caskey, founded the Never Again MSD, a gun control advocacy group, and organized the nationwide March for Our Lives movement. Much of her following came after a powerful speech she gave at a gun control rally in Fort Lauderdale, 3 days after the massacre. She spoke to everyone who supports having guns and arming teachers and called them out on their hypocrisy using the rhetorical figure epimone. Epimone is when you repeat a phrase in a speech for powerful effect. The phrase she used was, "We call BS." She said, and I quote, "Politicians who sit in their gilded House and Senate seats funded by the NRA telling us nothing could have ever been done to prevent this. We call BS. They say tougher gun laws do not decrease gun violence. We call BS. They say a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. We call BS." Basically, the statement she said throughout the speech was, if you are not supporting gun control, then that is BS. Emma Gonzalez used a swear word to effect positive change, and she didn't even say the bad word. Because of Gonzalez's power of words from her speech, there is significant gun control legislation in Florida underway, which may raise the minimum age for owning a gun from age 18 to 21 and ban bump stocks. That means my friends and I get to stay safe. Gonzalez, a child a few years older than I am, used profanity cleverly and to effect change. However, our president has used profanity coarsely at times, which degrades the points he's attempting to make and normalizes that language for me and my peers. I want to say before I begin this part of my talk that I struggle to decide if I should repeat the profanity that our president has used. At first I thought if I didn't swear, then the main point of my talk would not have an impact on you. After all, the fact that our president has used these words means that they now threaten to invade my vocabulary. But like Gonzalez, I came to the conclusion that a strong point could still be made by alluding to these curse words, but not actually saying them. I also don't want to get in trouble. On a Friday night in September 2017, during a speech in Alabama, President Trump used profane language about football players who knelt during the national anthem. He said to get those sons off the field and fire them. Even though some perceive kneeling as disrespect to the country, President Trump does not need to swear to citizens of the U.S. who maintain that their stance is one of peaceful and respectful protest. In addition, President Trump in January 2018, in a discussion of Africa and Haiti, was quoted as having questioned why we have immigrants from whole countries. There is also the issue of the way in which President Trump has referred to women. The word that comes up in that context and inspired a whole movement of women wearing kitty ears, I am not going to mention. I have not made a political statement here, and I don't intend to. I'm just here to say that I'm 12. And if I'm going to be a well-informed citizen at my age, President Trump has forced me to come face-to-face with these words. The worst part is that President Trump's profanity can rub off on not just me, but my peers. Because he has sworn with most of the nation watching as if it was no big deal, he has normalized that language, which could be used against people. At my school, we always work against bullying. I'm afraid that all this profanity will encourage a culture where bullying is accepted. When profanity sets the tone, bullies will think, there's nothing wrong with swearing. If the president does it, we can do it. The behavior of leaders can have an effect on a great amount of followers, especially children. The leader's behavior trickles down to others, and the behavior, being a positive or negative influence, will be mimicked. Children are having to deal with profanity becoming a natural part of everyday society. How do I fight back and make this right? I challenge all of you to choose your words with care, remembering that the words that come out of your mouth can always have an effect on others. And most importantly, children are listening. Thank you.